What's crafting, guys? Welcome back to episode 11 now of my Minecraft series. Last time we built the basalt generator. We built somewhere for the quarry makers to live. Quarry makers, quarry workers, whatever you want to call them. And we finished off the T1. Now we've got a jam-packed episode for you guys. I am going to build lots and lots of things. And first we're going to start off with a redstone tutorial. So I've been working on this area off camera, and it was quite tightly packed, so I couldn't really show you all the details, so I'll show you the mechanism separately. But I wanted a couple of guys mining into the mountain to unlock ores, sort of like uncover ores. So I made a nice little area in this, what would be very vacant looking place, and I've also popped in the tube that sends all the materials over and up to where they need to be. So let's show you how I've done this. It's time for redstone. So what first needs to be put down is just a block, and let's place down, so we've got torches, you're going to need comparators, and you're going to need some redstone, and obviously you're going to need the armor stand. So let's place down the armor stand, one redstone torch, then you need, I believe it's that way to that way to there, like that. And this is a very quick redstone tutorial because it's very simple mechanism. And there you go, pretty simple. It sends a pulse round. When it hits the torch, it turns off the torch, and when the torch is off, it does all the animation that you need to. And what you can do is extend this out further if you want it to slow down by adding more comparators. And there you go, pretty simple redstone, but very simple and effective for what I needed it to do. So I may pop a few of these units around the area to make it look like people are mining into bits, but at this present moment in time I might just leave this guy here and let him entertain you for a bit. As you can see, I've cleaned up the area a lot. I've added new roads, new paths. I've also added a few lanterns, which is really simple. It's candles on the inside, lit when they want to be lit. And then, oh wait, they just come on. I don't quite know why it does that. But then surrounded by copper trapdoors. I've added a few of them around, and I think that brings a lot of life into the area. But now, what I want to do is create a little thing, or a little collection system for dripstone. And what I've started doing, I wanted to build this sort of in a cave in a mountain. So I've just cleared out this area for now. I'm going to have to probably clear out a little bit more, but this would be a nice passive way of doing it. But what I'm going to do is put in some pistons with some observers, and when they reach down to that level, it'll shoot off the pistons, and then I can collect them in the collection system below. So we'll get on that very soon. But that is just going to be sort of a little side quest, because what I want to do today is focus on vehicles and moving people around. Hence the reason why we've got the moving armor stand. And what I want to do down here is create a sort of cable car that will reach a certain point and then drop. So we'll get on that in a moment. And I also want to put a new drill to be drilling into this part of the mountain there. So let's get on, and we'll do the cable car system first. And welcome back after that short time lapse. What you can see is we've got a small engine that powers a belt, which powers a giant cog, which will power the lift. I've used decorated pots with fence posts on top, and I think they give a really nice sort of different look to it. And I've built the other shaft on the other side with a bottom that has lights. And just around here we have the starts of the lift, or the actual thing that you stand in to get you down. But I wanted to go through that with you, so just follow me down here. I'll just quickly show you around here. This is just a temporary way to get down. What I want to do is probably do a bubble elevator either side, but this is basically it. And I think it has a really nice, oops, I missed a bit, sort of look about it. Very tall. It's not all the way down to the bottom, as I didn't want to do that, and I've got this big empty space. Now, with the design I have in mind for the lift, it will have enough space for machinery parts, because I'm going to do some small sort of vehicles for down in the mine, which will be carried underneath the lift. So this will probably be a mechanics area for it. But I'll take you down here and just show you around here. I have leveled off some of this area, left a few small platforms to put some miners. There's a small area here which I'll probably do some drills or something, and down here is where we'll have the majority of the vehicles. I did find some diamonds while mining this out, so I thought I'll leave them there and I could do these vehicles. And then down here what we'll do is we'll sort out some sort of path, maybe wooden platforms to go all the way down, and then we can get down to bedrock level. So let's get the body of the lift sorted. So it needs to be about 2 blocks from the bottom. So the plan is, if I place a block here, and this is 5 wide, so it gives enough body for the, and I've got some badges running across the top. Those badges go everywhere in this place. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to get rid of this one. We'll chop all those down in a bit. But this will be the bottom. This will be the bottom of the lift. So we're going to put enough room at the bottom for some crates and bits and pieces. Because this is 5 across, I want it 5 wide as well. And if we're right on the centre, we are the wrong way around, of course. So let's get to the centre, which is here. So that's perfect placement. Oh, just what you want is perfect placement. We'll build out this way. One more. So it's basically what I want it to be, is a platform that's wide enough to go through there. Now the trains will drive it over here. When it hits a certain block up there, the theory and the law behind it will go onto some sort of like gravity hook sort of thing, which will attach to it with magnets, and then it will lower down. It was very difficult to sort of do one that sort of stretches down, so I wanted to do it so that it would be able to go straight across and straight down. So now the bottom platform is pretty much done. I want to have a little bit of contrast, so we're going to use some of the basalt we got earlier. I'm going to build up to the height that we need it, which should work out. We are very close already. So we build out something like this, and if I'm correct, there. So with the basic structure of the lift, I can put a few of these in as guardrails for the machinery and stuff that's going to be underneath. So let's pop a few of these in. I don't want these to be I want it sort of caged but not caged at the same time. We're going to use some trapdoors, because the theory is that the guys want to get to the equipment underneath it. And in the centre we'll add a copper trapdoor, just to bring a little bit of colour and a little bit of difference in. We'll do the same with the copper trapdoors here and here. And we'll put a normal one of their doors there, the copper doors, and I think that looks quite cool. And we can now do the ceiling. We're going to want to probably put lights in, so the easiest way to probably do that is if I run a small beam across the middle there like that, and then run a few of these small trapdoors, and it doesn't matter which order they're going because I think it gives it quite a nice effect. And I believe that's pretty much the basic shape of basicness of it. It's easy to come in like this, and when it goes out to that side it's still the same door. So once I finish this, I'll come back and we'll put in some lighting and maybe a couple of seats. So I'm going to finish this off in a minute. I'm going to put some lights in and a couple of seats, and then I'll show you what it looks like from below. Once I've done that, I think it might be time to start a small side quest. So now it's done. Yes, it looks a little bit boring from below, but it does what it needs to do. As soon as it comes down here, we're able to collect all the gear from underneath. What I might do is just put a small platform here just to lead up to the part where the passengers come off. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. See, it's another lift that I've made for this area, but this is more of the industrial lift, and I think it gives it that very nice sort of steampunky cage feel, and it's come out really well. I'm so happy with it. So shall we get on with the side quest? As part of the machinery and the farm up there, I'm going to need dripstone and I'm going to need amethyst. So let's start the journey and join me after this quick time lapse. And the side quest begins. Luckily, down in the mines from earlier, I found a geode, and I've got a silk torch pickaxe, which makes it so easy to get the geodes that I need. So if I go down here, you'll see here, and I'm collecting them as I'm going along. There's plenty to go around, so I kept them all, and I'm keeping them all available so I can collect more later. Without a silk torch pickaxe, I won't be able to get these guys, so I'm so grateful that I managed to get them with all my levels. Then I went on another adventure out into the wilderness and found the village from earlier. As I'm going along, I did notice another cave, and I've come across this, but I was bombarded by lots of mobs, and I may have just died in a minute, and I'm quite upset about it because I only lost 9 levels, but as you can see, hit by a creeper, then come back down into the mines again and bombarded by skeletons, which was not helpful at all. But all this adventuring was come along so that I could build the Dripstone Farm. Luckily, it's quite a simple mechanism. It's pretty much the same as you use with any automated farm like the bamboo farm and the sugarcane farm, so it's pretty easy to set up. There is a lot of components that you need, and you have to make sure there's also the dripstone blocks in hand, because if you don't have those, the dripstone won't grow. I've done this also using the new crafter, and I've done the simple mechanism that we used before, which makes it so easy to convert to dripstone blocks. I decided to use observers across the whole thing, and I've used pistons to knock them down and collect it in the hoppers underneath. A little bit of redstone, and we're just going to patch things up. So just enjoy this part as I finish the place off. And this is the finished cave. As you can see, I've put lots of dripstone in, and I've added a little bit of texture to the floor, a little bit of water just to say that it's dripping, and I think it's giving it the overall cave-like vibe that I wanted, and I really like the way it's turned out. Unfortunately, this episode I don't think we're going to have enough time to tackle the terraforming, so that's going to be a next episode sort of thing. But yeah, it's come out pretty cool, and I'm very happy with it. So now down to the mines. So down here in the mines, we want to build drills and we want to build all other sorts of little gadgets and machinery. Because I want to build it modular, I've designed this machine so that I'm able to take the parts off and it can be transported down in the lift. Luckily it's small but very effective. It comes with 2 sets of tracks which I'm building now, a little body, and the front and the back are designed so that you can use like big scoops, or you can have drill parts, or you can have a trailer to take things away. So it can have several of these dotted around the cave and it won't take up too much space. Now this one is going to be the drill that I'm doing, and what it has done is uncovered those diamonds, so it's going to not have a driver. So luckily I'm going to just build it in this platform, which is like a really good position, and I'm using everything that I've learned that I did on the T1. But this time, instead of using the acacia trapdoors, I've used some some spruce trapdoors, because I think they give a nice tracked effect. I wanted some sort of guards on them so that no one would walk into them, which has worked out quite well because I use copper, and I'm using copper a lot in these builds because it brings the whole steampunky vibe alive. I'm also going to be using one of my favourite things that I keep on using, the grindstone. They look like wheels, they work for tracks, they work for pretty much anything that you want to use them for, and they're brilliant to use. So I'm happy with that. I'm putting the engine in now. I've used a couple of observers to sort of create the extra engine, which they don't look too bad, and I'm happy about it. And I wanted to put some sort of chimneys to give you sort of smoke effect that when it's working. On the front I've used another grindstone, which is perfect because it gives that sort of connection look that you need. And I wanted to put a place for the driver to use at the back, because as he's going round he needs to be able to drill out a lot of stuff and see where he's going. So I've given him a steering wheel or handle or sort of something to move forward and move back. On the front I'm adding some pistons because that gives it sort of mechanical look. I've added 6 of these because they need to be the same size as the actual machine itself, so as he's moving through the mountain he's not going to get hit on any rocks, which is pretty cool. And also we're going to use those amethysts that I found before, and I was going to use the dripstone, but you can't put that sideways, and I found that the amethyst will give that effect of, say, the diamond drill bit, which is pretty cool. And I added another grindstone on the back to add a trailer. But there you go, pretty simple, pretty effective, does what it needs to do, and it's a nice little machine to have down in your caves. So if you guys want to have them down there, feel free to use the ideas that I've done there. But yeah, pretty cool, very happy with how it's turned out, and there it is. So guys, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. It's coming to the end of the episode now, and the lift looks awesome. It suits the area, suits the vibe of it so well. Also the dripstone cave, it's going to be producing dripstone passively, but it's all the blocks and stuff are going to come in very, very useful in the future. But I think next time we're going to have to try and tackle a little bit of the terraforming, maybe produce a cave just underneath the mound behind us so that we can put in a moss farm, and then we'll put a few more vehicles and a few more miners, and I think that'll be pretty much awesome, and the area pretty much done, so we can move on to what we'll be producing next time. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I love this area so far, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to comment below, comment anything you like and I'll always respond. And stay crafty. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out these other videos